Good morning. 6 imperative mistakes. Goodness gracious. I've been doing a lot of work, and what I notice is that they tend to use a lot of structural adverbs to describe things, and they're just really heady. So you have to go back, and what I'm telling my people is I have to go back and humanize it, whatever copy that I use. So anyway, what you should know if you inherit a house. It's happening a lot more these days. Okay, 6 imperative mistakes to avoid when decluttering your home, or just declutter your home. 6 things to look out for. Guilty. Laziness and procrastination are the number one reasons why houses or rooms, like my daughter's rooms, don't get clean. My daughter's rooms are both filthy, and they complain about spiders. And here's my key to that. I just sent them a little thing. I should go find it real quick. When you have a dirty room, it elicits a lot more dust, and dust attracts dust mites, and dust mites attract spiders. So if you don't want spiders crawling around in your bed and biting you, clean your room, get it dusted. So there you go. Anyway, that's the number one thing, procrastination. A lot of it is not having a plan. And the plan to me is not tackling too much at one time. This is what I tell people when I sell their houses. I get them their house ready to do. They do a lot of the packing themselves, and I say, do one room a day. That's it. One room. It would take me about an hour to clean everything out, throw everything into boxes, and separate them into categories, having that organization plan. The next day I would do the living room, and then the bedroom, and the bathroom, and a kitchen, etc. And before you know it, 10 days later, you're done packing up your house, and it looks very decluttered, stress-free. Not having an organization. Now, a lot of the videos that I do talk about getting your house ready to sell. It's also a mindset of living clean. If you look at my house, I have a lot of little projects that I'm working on. That's not really living cleanly, right? It's not. I don't have a plan to keep this up. I have a plan to restructure this room. I just have other things going on right now, so I'll get to it. And when I do it, I'll have a video about it. But creative plan is one a day. Have a plan to donate, throw away, and give away and keep, right? Have multiple piles of things that you just don't use. Like we had a trampoline 3 or 4 years ago. We gave it to our neighbors who have 5 kids. They loved it. They used the hell out of it. And then the last windstorm, it broke. But you know what? My kids weren't using it. It was $200 or $300, and we sent it over next door, and they loved it. They loved enjoying it. So if you have something, whatever it might be, and you're not using it, give it to somebody that might use it. And then whatever else that's junky, get rid of. Like I have keyboards that are made in the 1980s right there in my pile. And by the way, we have an e-waste pickup thing coming around in San Jose. So you can absolutely do that. If you want more information, I'll have that in my blog. Now I get it. I'm sentimental. I have a lot of stuff that remind me of my kids, my dogs, and I love them dearly. And when I move, those are the things that I'm taking with me, period. I don't care about the couch or the ottoman or this desk. I like the desk, but I just don't care. I'm probably going to leave it here for the seller and they can get rid of it, or I'm just going to donate it. I'm not the garage sale kind of guy. I have garage sale signs for my clients because sometimes they want to do it, but I don't bother with them because they're things and I'd rather just get rid of them. I have a use for them. Once I'm done using it, they're gone. Getting rid of things. Absolutely. I don't know if you've looked in your garage lately, but every time I look in my garage, I have cardboard boxes from Amazon and soda cans and beer can boxes. And I have exercise equipment that hasn't been used since we opened back up. Just stuff could really get gone, right? There's a utility to it, but if you haven't used something in over a year, you probably don't need it. Put it that way. And then don't wait too long to do it again. Have a routine of doing it every 6 months, like your maintenance thing, redoing your HVAC dust collector filter, changing out your dryer vent, not the vent, cleaning it out when you're cleaning your dryer vent, but the vent behind it that goes to the outside. That needs to be cleaned every 6 months or it's a fire hazard. And then there's the water heater, anode rod. There's all sorts of little unique things about being a homeowner that has to go into a maintenance thing. So if you want, I can create a checklist, and it's actually a great idea. So I'll do that. So there'll be a checklist down below. Make sure you grab it. Okay. What should you do if you inherit your parents pass away? I'm sorry for my condolences. However, part of life. It's the Hakuna Matata. Wow, look at that. Hakuna Matata. I don't want to sound unemotional about it, but at the time that I get engaged, I have to be more business-like and logical. There's a lot of things to consider when you do it. You have to figure out who's on the trust or the will. If there's no will or trust, it has to go through probate. You have to hire a lawyer to make sure that gets handled correctly. You want to talk to your tax people, find out who the trustee is, right? Find out who the mortgagor is and let them know that your parents passed on. They're going to ask for death certificates, etc. And they're going to give you a payoff amount and instructions. So you have to figure out what they want. Did you inherit a house with your siblings? Now, technically, if it's in probate, it gets issued equally out after probate fees and court costs. If you have a trust, then you listen to what the trust says. And if it's 33 or equal amounts, that's great. Or if Joe gets 50% and the rest of the siblings get an even amount, that's fine too. However, it says in the trust, up for litigation too. So there's no real way out of that. But have a plan, discuss it with your siblings, let them know what the plan is and discuss it. In California, you're allowed to move into your parents' house and keep their tax basis. Otherwise, you lose that tax basis. So that's one reason why you might want to do it. Now, if it's an older house, there's loopholes and plans around how to figure that out. Again, those are discussions you want to have with trust lawyers or family lawyers. But can you move into it? Is there a benefit to you to move into it? How's that going to be handled? Who's going to pay who, etc. There's other things here too. Know your tax laws. Every jurisdiction has specific tax laws as to how inheritance works. There's local, San Jose County, not so much, but California has some serious laws about how inheritances are handled, as well as federal. So make sure you understand that. Get with a tax professional and get that. Talk to professionals for advice. Don't talk to your Aunt Sally situations. Every situation is different. Every probate or will or trust is always different. So I always say, let's go sit down with a tax lawyer. Let's go talk a trust lawyer, and let's sit down with a tax accountant so they can tell you exactly what the options are and you can make a better decision. And the last one is have one person as the trustee. I see it quite often. One person is the trustee of your estate. If you have two people, guess what's going to happen? Fighting, lying, screaming, lawsuits. You don't want that. You want it to be as easy as possible. I'm going through that right now with one person who put both siblings on the trust as trustees. And guess where we are a year and a half later? Nowhere, because she said, he said, she said, and all this other stuff happens. And then my last advice is figure out what you want to do with personal property. If you have a house full of tchotchkes and memorabilia and all the siblings and family members, extended family members come through and say, hey, I would like to take a look at some stuff. I was really interested in this little tiny curio or what have you. Great. You need to be here by X date, or it all goes to Goodwill, or it goes to the dump, or it goes to wherever, however you're going to do it. Be very specific about it, because you can't wait for somebody to wait around and decide what they're going to do with one specific thing. It holds up the entire process. So again, when I get into it and help my clients deal with removing everything, it's very logical. So I lose the emotional part. I have to. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Today's bank-owned property of the week is this little guy right here. And the reason why I picked it out is because it's so freaking cheap. It's $160,000. I can guarantee you that this is going to go into a bid. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. There's only 2 pictures on it. There's still tenants living in the property, and it's in the fine town of Modesto. Let's take a look at it. It's on Watley Ave, right here. Far enough away from downtown that you're semi-safe, but it's Central Valley living. But there's some affordable property here. I'm guessing it'll go up to 300,000 or 400,000. This one right here, I think the closest one. Let's take a quick look here. There's the Apple campus right there. So you can actually walk to Apple from this house. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot, built in 1957 for the mere price of $1.99 million. Standard ranch house, updated with new flooring, and love it. It's been on market 0 days. It's a great price for being an Apple. I can guarantee you that this one's going to sell pretty quick. and for a lot more. Here's a new listing in Mountain View. Again, these are not my listings. The reason why I brought this one up is because it looks really brand new inside, even though it was built in 1988. Now, where in Mountain View? It's right by Shoreline. So you're near all the high tech, actually. Google's over here. But you're close to Moffett, Middlefield, and where is Castro Street. So look, you can actually walk down to Castro Street. I'm going there tomorrow for lunch. It's a great little place. So this is a nice place, centrally located. And yeah, obviously we don't have pictures. So there you go. And let's talk about the snapshot. 40 days on market. Santa Clara County, we have 57 houses, single family houses for sale, have been on market for over 40 days. And of those, 28 of them have been on market over 90 days. In the Bay Area, we have 61 homes for sale that are bank-owned properties. And in all of California that we can track is 146. Currently for sale is 333 homes for sale. Remember I told you we need to be about into 1,000 to be a balanced market. We're in the middle of March and we're still very low on inventory. It's the same thing here. This needs to be about 1,700, 2,000 is even better for all of Santa Clara County. And we're just nowhere near where we need to be. We're selling houses, but they're not at the same clip of where we were 2 years ago, specifically. That was the peak of the market. But now we're just seeing what houses do come up, as long as they're priced right and positioned right and in decent condition and a decent location, they sell pretty quick. So what I actually tell people is you have the option of making more money, but you can also sell the house as is. You're not going to get a premium price. You have to invest money into your house to get that premium price. And then on top of that, you have 2, 3, 4 months of waiting for your house to get ready for sale because you have to have contractors come in. There's delays. There's a can of worms here, blah, blah, blah. So absolutely, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to bring in contractors and manage the whole process for you if you want to do it and spend that extra money for maybe a little bit more money. Does it work? It absolutely does. But if you're hell-bent on getting a premium price, that's the journey that we're going on. If you're like, hey, I just want to sell the house as is, that's fine. Great, let's do a couple repairs here and make sure the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and the hot water heater strapped up. Let's go. Today we talked about decluttering, inherited homes, REO house of the week, Apple house of the week, Mountain View house of the week, and the snapshot of San Jose and Silicon Valley where we are.